Alrighty, it's a O.P.O.V podcast. How's everyone today?
Good. How you doing?
Good, good, good,
Good.
good.
I'm having a little technical difficulty with the volume,
I
but
hear you guys okay.
I can hear you guys now that I put the headphones in.
it's good to be back. So what's good, y'all?
Oh, nothing. How's everybody?
Could be better, but I'm here.
Yeah,
Definitely
de-
could be better.
definitely. So what's shaking? Y'all want to just jump right into it, or
Yeah. But
I
last time we
mean,
talked to you guys, there wasn't a war going on, was there?
nope?
eh,
So
and now
Putin
there is.
Putin popped it off. He's trying to get Ukraine back, trying to reform the Soviet Union.
At what cost? Is the thing? It's looking like their economy is plummeted into like terrible lows.
It seems like he's ready to get it back at any cost. Um, let's see, they removed them from the SWIFT system, which is what the international system for communication for financial transactions. A lot of countries are a part of that. So that interferes with about, if I read correctly, 40% of their income right there. I
Uh,
know here in the States, they've been telling them to take Russian alcohol off the shelves. Um, along with other sanctions. I think that between the European Union and the United States, um, we're trying to do all we can without having to get physical, you know.
hmm
But it's like Putin is like, I'm like, if like I'm prepared to go at y'all heads if y'all try anything. Like, quit playing.
It's whatever with Putin at
It's
this
definitely
point. I feel
whatever with
like,
it.
mm-hmm.
Like, really, realistically, we are on the brink of World War III. Um, it could go down at any time.
Yeah, just because China's also they're threatening was it Taiwan also?
Yeah, which sounds about right because Taiwan used to be a part of China, but they became their own independent country as well.
Hmm
So it's kind of like a similar circumstance. And China is also an ally of Russia. So I don't know, guys. Are you guys
What's the
scared?
problem? What I don't know.
I'm not scared. I'm not.
I'm scared of the gas prices.
Yeah,
I'm scared of the empty
I don't know.
shelves.
My volume went out. Hold on.
yeah. I would say that
Um,
as far as like the economy and the prices of things, that's more scary to me than uh
um, I don't know what the. Is it any FR business what they
um
got going on over there, or
it's a
it is our
United
business?
yeah, because it's a United Nations thing. I think
Okay.
with them signing the peace treaties or whatever they was doing, and them going against it, that's like and we have to we got to help Ukraine out as a nation, not necessarily us personally, but as far as
Right.
the United States is a
Can you guys hear me at all?
yes, we can
Yes.
hear you fine, but yeah, we just gotta abide by to keep everything running as one. But again, that's something that Putin been wanting to do. He made up his mind that that's something that he wanted. And he's going to
Yeah.
try to get Ukraine by any means necessary.
And what is going to end it? Is it going to be Ukraine giving in and just going in, or is it going to take a lot of bloodshed?
It looks like it's going to take a lot of bloodshed. The Ukraine hasn't. They're not backing down.
No,
Um,
they're not.
their civilians are
And
even going to war and trying to
I
basically
can't hear
protect their
anything.
country.
Well, I guess we could just hold on and see what's going to happen because it's going to unfold right before our eyes. Um, the media coverage, like, watching them over there in bulletproof vests and those steel hats that they be wearing, and because they're like in the middle of it, and
Yeah,
um,
crazy. I always thought reporters were crazy for doing that.
yeah, yeah. Um, Did we ever think that we would be in the middle of a war, 2022, while we're in the middle of a pandemic? But it's are those things all coexist with each other: the pandemic, the wars, the inflation,
Inflation,
the
goodness.
all of that stuff. I think ties all into to one.
Sorry,
Yeah,
guys, my volume went out. I was getting a call.
all right. Yeah, no, you're right. It's just a new day. It's things we got to deal with, and the pandemic just set us back a little bit because um, now it's like the world doesn't. It's not stopping. So since we got a war and things going on, it's just adding on top of it. It's like problems on top of problems on top of problems. So there's still a the people still want their money. The big wigs still want their money. So they're
Hmm.
still playing chess even in the midst of a pandemic.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, I was having issues.
Yeah, so I guess we could just pray for the people that's in Ukraine, and um I don't know what to say because Putin's not going to back down. Is he going to just be like, okay, never mind, I changed my mind, and then pull back? Like, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen.
They now the sanctions are hitting them hard and fast. That's the one thing I can say. And he's
Good.
it's like anybody that has a little bit of money over there, their assets are being frozen if it's not um, the Russian currency. So if they got like American dollars or whatever, whoever's currency they're using, their assets are being frozen.
And they did say specifically that the Russian middle class is largely not for this war.
Oh yeah, they was protesting, and he was
Mm-hmm.
he was locking
Mm-hmm.
people up for protesting.
Yeah.
Insane. Did you
Yeah.
guys talk about how they were not allowing the African and Indian students to cross the border?
Nah, we didn't even
No,
touch on
we
that
didn't even
yet.
get on that because that is happening.
When I watched the video, I was very disheartened by that. I'm like, in the midst of war and potential impending death, you still can't get past your wickedness to allow Black and Brown people to get to safety.
It's racist.
Like,
Pure race.
it
In the middle of a war, don't matter.
don't matter. Always on go with that.
Yeah.
Um, I think it kind of like opened my eyes to. They make it seem like America is terribly racist, which it is, but nobody talks about the racism that goes down in other countries. And
Mhm.
that was just like despicable to see the video
Mhm.
of how
Yeah.
they were treating African and Indian students. Like, it kind of made me feel a little different about the war. I'm
I
not gonna
mean,
lie.
but to me, I just feel like I've been knew that about over there. Like they don't fool with us that over there.
So,
They don't fool with us over there. They don't fool with us over here.
like, where do they fool with
um,
us? We fool with us. That's it.
Do we even
yeah,
fool with us?
halfway.
Depends on
So
who it is.
now,
Yeah.
luckily, the countries in Africa who did have students in those areas and different people, they were telling them to contact their countries' embassies
And play.
um, in order to arrange transportation to Poland or back to their native country. Um, so I'm glad that people like Amanda Seals were putting issues like this in the forefront because the large media outlets are not covering the story.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I didn't like how even yesterday I was watching The View and Sunny Hostin tried to bring it up, but Anna Navarro kind of like disputed her what she was saying she talked to somebody and they said that this is not happening.
Well,
Okay,
you can
so
say that.
all the video that's out there, everybody's lying, but this person that you're talking to said that it didn't happen, so you're just gonna go with that.
Another way for them to control the narrative.
Is Whoopi back on there yet?
She's back on there.
Okay.
Yeah, she was suspended for 2 weeks.
So I don't know, guys.
Yeah,
It's just like a messed up situation, and
it
you
is.
know,
And our pockets is going to suffer. They're already suffering because gas is already high. Our shelves is already low. I haven't been able to find turkey bacon in weeks. I don't know where the turkey bacon is at, but there hasn't been any. I don't know what that has to do with it, but there's no turkey bacon anywhere.
well, I think that was happening prior to the war.
It
Yeah, it was
was.
going. It
It
was
was.
going deep
I'm
It
just
down.
not
was.
sure. It's weird. I'm not sure what's causing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the inflation and prices, and as far as the shortage and things being stocked in the supermarket, because you would think that the pandemic is high end, but actually cases have went down, and it's still
Cases have
like
went down. They're not talking
mandates are.
about COVID as much, and people are changing the mask mandates and all of that stuff. But
And
I
you would be
just think
thinking that
that
things would be moving good as far as like in the grocery stores and even gas being how oil per barrel is like the highest it's ever been. That's
but
weird.
I even though the war just started or whatever and those things was happening before, but I feel like it was already brewing. It was already brewing, so I feel like it's all kind of connected in a way. And um I don't know, were they preparing, not preparing, but like this is what's ahead of us before it even came, because they didn't know it was going to happen, but we knew it was going to happen because Putin was very outspoken a weeks ago, a while ago, about his intentions. So
I don't know. I think it had something to do more with like the stock market and things like that going down to like record lows and things like that. I don't know as far as because Russia they do got a big oil supply, but I don't know if we deal with them when it comes to our oil. Um, So I think it I think it could get worse as far as with the inflations and things like that. Um, if other countries start being involved that we do deal with into this
yeah.
war.
Well, I think we do, and that would be the reason why our gas prices will be going up, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
Yeah.
Now, do you guys think that the price of goods and services could possibly be going up because companies are starting to pay their employees more?
No, I don't even
What
think that.
what companies?
Well, I know the latest is Target, but then there's states who are requiring that the minimum wage be higher too. So I don't know. When it comes to corporate greed, nothing's off the table.
Hmm.
So the way I'm looking at it is like we're not going to take a cut in our bottom line. So we'll offload that cost to the customer.
I don't think it has anything to do with them though. I think they're getting taxed. That's how I feel like the
Who's getting taxed?
the grocery stores, the retail stores. I think the people bringing in the goods are taxing them.
Okay.
I
So
Yeah. It's
they
a
just whatever they're doing, they're offloading the cost to the customer.
Yeah,
Whatever's happening.
yeah. I feel like the prices have risen everywhere as far as even like every, it's even like chicken and stuff like that. How expensive beef, chicken, avocados is expensive. I think it's just the price of doing business with these type of people, or it's going up. And when once again, our wage, if you have a job that you're establishing a job, our wages aren't going up.
Right. Mine hasn't.
no.
So
That's a whole different story. Uh,
Yeah.
I do hope that Pennsylvania gets with the program and they do higher the minimum wage here because it's disheartening when you see the national average is $15 an hour and it's not like that here for.
Hmm. Now, I
Uh,
can tell you individually as a company, my company has increased our minimum wage to, I think it's like $18 an hour or something like that.
but y'all never was like bottom of the barrel minimum, was y'all?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Mm-mm.
But
It,
that's even good though for somebody coming in to be getting $18 an hour.
yeah,
Kudos,
Yeah.
kudos to them.
yeah.
I mean, I feel like when I started working, I want to was minimum wage. It might have been like $6 or something crazy back then.
Yeah.
It ain't that. How much is it now?
725. Well, it was just 725, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
but
that.
it wasn't always like that. It was just like really like change. I'm talking about like
The
peer group
earliest I
days.
remember is it being five something,
Five,
525
yeah,
something.
like that's what I was about to say. Maybe even five something. It was like $5 an hour. Can you imagine? Like, can you imagine?
No.
But and then I'm thinking like back then though too. But it's only up to like $7, and that was a long time ago. I'm talking about like my first job, like filling
Yeah,
out W-2s and all of that.
Hmm.
That was a long time ago for it to only be $7. What is minimum wage? 7.25.
725. Hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because I
That's
know years
crazy.
ago when I think I was in like high school or something, the big thing was you need to work at Walmart because Walmart was paying $7 an hour or something like that. Like that was like a big deal because they were paying above minimum wage at that time.
and Walmart got benefits. So if you go full, if you're able, I heard it's hard to get a full time job with Walmart, but if you could get a full time job, they say it's pretty decent as far as the benefits go.
Yeah, but the job like really sucks. Like really sucks.
Yeah, I haven't had the experience of working Walmart. Now I will say this: I did enjoy working for Target, and if they do pay their employees, if they could get up to something like 25 an hour, that'll be nice for it.
Well, they did just announce that they was raising their minimum wage from like 15 to $24 an hour or something like
Hmm.
that. So
I did see that.
Yeah, I read a little bit on that article. I think it depends on like if you live in like a higher like a city like New York or something like that, you'll get paid more. But I think
hmm.
the minimum is 15, so that's even
Yeah,
good.
which makes sense because the cost of living is
Yeah,
very
that's
high
what I was about
there.
to say. That makes sense. That's good. That's great.
And I remember
Hmm.
when I worked there, you got paid every week too. So hopefully they still got
I
that. And
mean,
if you're a
Yeah,
little
that's
kid,
nice.
that's where you want to be.
oh, one other thing I wanted to ask y'all as far as the pandemic, because I know you guys were talking about it. I'm not sure how much I missed when I was having audio issues, but do you? We've noticed that there has been a drastic decline in COVID-19 cases. Do y'all think that that is a coincidence with the war just starting?
Uh,
Or do you think there's any sort of correlation? I'm a little conspiracy theoristy, a
What
little
would
bit.
what would be your like? What would be your conspiracy on that? Because I don't know if you can put the two together.
You can if you think that the COVID-19 was a means of biological warfare.
On who though? Everybody?
Yeah, like why not distract the world with that? So Putin, because China is
An
Russia's
ally.
ally. Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just conspiracy theory. I don't, you know.
Yeah, because
I just think I find it mighty funny that like a month ago we were like in a tizzy and a panic talking about COVID cases are like through the roof and everybody's gonna get it. It's crazy. And all of a sudden there's like a 90% drop in reported cases. Like, is that a coincidence?
I don't know, but that's definitely something to think about. I don't know if that's a coincidence, but that's what's happening right now.
Mm, I don't know. Just something I was like, wow, that's quite a coincidence. But okay.
Yeah, I look at it is that people, as far as the I think the virus is getting weaker and people's immune systems are getting stronger. And I just feel like I don't know about lifting everything as far as the mandates because once that happens, I think the cases may go up. But that's just what me.
Well, being that we're already on the subject, do you guys think that we will ever fully recover from this pandemic? Do you think that we'll ever, like, is there going to be a such thing of as us getting back to normal, back to the way it was? Like, is
I mean, I just
or
think we
are
just
we
started.
forever changed? We're forever changed.
Yeah, I think we're
I,
forever changed, but not in a way that where it won't be. You know what I mean? Like, it's just another added person to the party. COVID's just added to the party now, along with the flu and the cold.
I think we
So
will. I think we're actually in the midst of doing that now. People, they're talking about lifting mask mandates for children in schools. I think people just want to get back to how things were before. I think it has had an impact on everybody's mental. Um, so in that aspect, no, we'll never be the same. But I think like um, people are trying to do their best to like try to get past COVID. Now, whether we actually physically get past COVID is a different story. But I think that we're trying to act like, all right, we're done with this.
Yeah, I think it's probably done being the boogeyman. That's what you want to say. I think that we're past that stage, but I think it's something we're not going to fully get rid of, but we're going to go back to our normal lives. I feel like.
all right.
How you feel?
I don't. I'm almost to the point like what's normal because I feel like even though it's been what like 2 years, I feel like it's been longer than that, and that is part of the mental aspect of it too. Um, I feel like you said that I think we're just gonna it's gonna be one more thing added. What you say to the party?
Yeah, yeah, that's how I look at it, honestly, because um, as of right now, it's not that threatening to people that don't have bad immune systems. Um,
Yeah. So will we be able to go back to normal far as like you don't have to be vaccinated to get this job or to keep your job
I feel
or
like it
is
should be
that
like that right now, honestly. But again,
yeah,
I'm no physician, and I don't want to give out the wrong
right,
information. But I feel like once you could see that people were still getting the virus, and people that didn't have the vaccine wasn't getting as sick because it was a different variant out, then we should have started lifting the mandates then and letting people go back to having a choice whether to get vaccinated or not. But if you leave it up to like um, the media, it's like if you don't get vaccinated, you still are high risk.
right.
Right. All right. Next, Supreme Court Justice President Joe Biden um, nominated uh, a new person to the Supreme Court. Tom, you want to talk about that?
KBJ,
KBJ. You
yeah,
gave her a nickname already.
I think that's easier to pronounce their name.
Mhm.
Because what is it, Katanji? Is that how you pronounce her, Katanji?
I was saying Katanji, but I think it's Katanji.
Yeah, I don't want to butcher her name, so I'll just call her KBJ. But
I like that. I like that.
I'm glad that it's someone who's a female that's African American, and she actually I don't even know how you pronounce it. Is it cum laude at Harvard? She was top of her class there, um, and again she served as a judge um, from 2013 to 2021. So she put in her years uh,
Mhm.
on the U.S. district, and then it's like we about to see. We about to see if she can hold her own with all these old white men, and be able to help us out.
Yeah, I'm really
I
excited.
she yeah, I'm excited too because there we need her. We need her
We need more than
there.
her, but
Yeah, yes, but yes. Mm, yeah.
and I haven't heard too much backlash on it. Again, I haven't been watching too much of like the conservative news channels, but I haven't heard too much backlash on it. Maybe because the war supersedes everything right now.
Yeah, and that's what I hate when stuff like that because that's really, really good news. We should be talking about that. A lot of media outlets should be talking about that and they're not because there's a
Yeah,
war going on.
yeah.
So
But kudos,
congratulations to her. Yes,
yeah.
Hmm.
for sure.
Absolutely. So,
So and moving right along.
moving right along.
Yeah.
So, Kenya,
Yes.
you and I had the pleasure of attending last week's school board meeting.
Yeah, okay, yes. We did. I've
So,
been to several
this was
over
my first. Sorry.
several. I'm not new to that place.
So, do you want to give your thoughts first, or do you want me to give my thoughts as a newcomer?
um, well, let's talk about what the school board is first of all for everybody. It is a board of people who um, sit at a table and makes decisions on things that should be taught in school and they put in policies that people are supposed like that the students and the faculty are supposed to adhere by and they make a lot of decisions on a lot of things that could potentially, I ain't gonna say potentially, I'm gonna take that out. That's detrimental to your child's well-being and your child's future. That's how much that's how much weight they hold. And I don't think that a lot of people know how much power and how much weight that these school board members hold for something that's so important, so detrimental, and they do not get paid for it, but they work for us. We vote them in.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't think that people really know how important it is to know about what's going on there, to attend those things, those meetings, and to ask questions and to get answers to the questions that you are asking. So, with that being said, Jessica, you could tell them how your first experience is going to a school board meeting.
Okay. So, this was my first time at a live school board meeting. I have watched school board meetings because the meetings are available on YouTube. And I could say my first experience um, physically at a school board meeting, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, it was a mess.
Oh
It,
yeah.
it was a mess. Um, when I got there maybe a couple minutes after 8. So it was the superintendent was just now speaking. He was reading off a letter from his lawyer because um, there is a conflict between some of the members of the school board and the superintendent as to how he was reinstated for a new term. And can you please jump in and correct me if I'm saying anything inaccurately?
Which we spoke
Um,
Hmm.
on this last year, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, we
yes,
did. Yeah, we
last
did.
year The current superintendent had maybe about a year and a half left on his current contract. And prior to the November election, what they ended up doing was he resigned and then they rehired him within the same meeting in order for him to get a whole new contract. Um, and I believe it's at a different pay rate as well. Am I wrong in saying that?
I think that he got more money.
Um, with the superintendent reading, so what ended up happening now that we have a new school board in, we had um, four vacancies that were filled?
Yes.
Those vacancies were filled, and they hired outside counsel in order to look into, was this process done properly?
Yes, because there was a whole bunch of backlash from that because there was a secret meeting held. Everybody didn't have the information. School board members got up and walked out. Like it was just a whole bunch of stuff that was going on around that whole process. Um, so that's why they hired the outside counsel to look into it to see if it was lawfully done correctly.
So he
And
brought,
that was in July of last year. That was in July of last year, and it's February now.
and so he, what did he do? He brought in a letter wrote by his lawyer.
Yeah, saying that the practice that they did for the process that they did to have him resign and hire him within minutes back to a new contract, a new deal, um, and his old contract wasn't even up without um, ever posting the job, giving the community an opportunity to speak about it. Was there any reviews done on it? Like things
Mm-hmm.
that's supposed to happen whenever someone resigns from a position like that. Those
There
things did
wasn't
not
a
happen.
Rooney rule. There wasn't a Rooney rule for him.
Nah.
No, the Rooney Rule was not in effect there, and so there's some board members who spoke up about it, especially new board members coming on who spoke up about it, saying that the process wasn't right. Like you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? It doesn't sound right. So as a citizen, or as a taxpayer, or as a parent, um, and you hear something like that that's going on at your local school board, you want to look into that. I feel like it should pique your interest of saying dang, that don't say like he resigned and got hired
Mm-hmm.
like all within like minutes. Like how does that work? Why was
Now,
that allowed to happen?
Right.
Um,
now, was there an
they
independent lawyer consulted about this, or was it just his lawyer that
So
anybody know?
the school board hired independent counsel to look over the process and the procedures of what took place at that time with
Uh,
him being with him resigning and hiring getting hired back. So the argument is from the superintendent's father is that it's a vendetta, and that it's been done like that for years. And the same school board member, they voted on it before, so they, what's wrong with it now? And that what else? So like basically nothing was done incorrectly. And why are we paying the outside counsel, wasting taxpayers' dollars because nothing was done incorrectly? Because this has always been done like this, and they've done it before, and 6 or 7 other school district do it that way. So
Now, I can
uh,
say, as a taxpayer and someone who votes in every election, I don't have
mm-hmm,
anything to do with the political vendetta, but it does not
mm-mm,
sound right to me. And I would like some answers. And I would like to know, is this legit?
but
Because
even if
mm-hmm.
it is legit, now it's time to get the rules changed to make it
either
fair.
either way, because what it is it's a way to circumvent the process to say, hey, there are new board members coming up. The board decides who the superintendent is. So if I think these new board members are not going to vote me in and give me another contract, then I can circumvent this process and not have them have a say at all and just get my
Mhm.
contract renewed. It doesn't
Mhm.
sound right.
Mhm.
So, yes, I, as a citizen, would like that looked into. Just because this is something that has been done before does not make it right.
It does
Like,
not. It does not.
and let me just say this, like, I feel like, okay, the superintendent's father was there. He's up there going hard for his son. He feels like we're wasting taxpayer dollars and he has a right to speak. He's been at all the past few members to speak out, the past few meetings to speak out this about this issue because he's a taxpayer. And in this particular meeting, he said he's a taxpayer and that's my son. To which
Mhm.
that was met with giggles because so
Mhm.
um, the school board president then rebutted with, "I wasn't aware that it was Bring Your Father to Work Day," which I cracked up. Some people definitely thought that that comment was inappropriate, but I thought it was absolutely appropriate given the circumstances.
Mhm.
His father came up there as a means of came up there and has continuously come up there as a means of intimidation to the board, which is completely unacceptable. Not only does he try to intimidate the board by the things that he's saying, he also interrupts people because you're given 5 minutes to speak. He'll interrupt people's speaking time. They're not giving their time back. Nobody will wrangle him and check him and keep him in line. It was a complete mess.
Mhm.
And he like, I don't know what's going on, but nobody should be able to do that in those meetings.
No, so as a first timer coming, now you said you've watched them, and I know it's been hard to hear. So
Yes.
anybody who's been watching them, it is hard to hear, and it's nothing like being there because I've been there before COVID,
Mm-hmm.
during COVID, and then watching them on online or whatever. It's not the same as in being there. I just urge everybody who has a child in the school district or is a taxpayer to wake up and speak up and step up because your voice really does matter. Your voice really does matter if you're speaking about issues that are concerning to you, and they should be concerning to you, especially if you pay taxes, and especially if you have children up there in the school. A few of our viewers had asked, what was our thoughts and how we felt about that school board meeting, and
Yeah,
I feel like I said it was a shit show.
It was.
um you know um to to be sitting up there and to hear all of this rhetoric going back and forth, and very minimum is being said about what is going on actually inside these schools, because in that same meeting we got the agenda, and there was like 21 administrators and faculty leaving. They wasn't arguing about that. Nobody's, they read that down the line, and it was just like it was said and over. For me, that's crazy. That's a lot of staff and faculty to be
Hmm.
resigning or going into early retirement or just retiring
yeah.
at the end of the school year. That's alarming. It doesn't matter if the teacher has been there for 30 years and she needs to resign, or if the teacher has been there for however many years you needed to be in the program to be able to retire early with some type of package or benefit. Like it
Hmm.
doesn't matter. It's a faculty member, it's a staff member, and we are losing 21 of them at the end of the year.
Mm.
Yes, that is certainly alarming because I would like to know, is there a central cause as to why these faculty members are leaving? Why are they leaving? Why? Because it seems like it's almost like a mass exodus.
hmm
Like,
And
Why?
why? Why would it?
Why?
Why? Like, you know what I'm saying? One would think, and this is just me thinking because I'm in the workforce. If you have a boss who is really not a good boss all around, nobody wants to be there. That's just my personal opinion. So if the boss is not holding up his end of the bargain, far as you being the employer, you're going to go look somewhere else to work, or you're going to just
Mhm.
walk away from it. That's just, that. I mean, is that fair for me to say that's something that you would do if you had a shitty boss? That's something that you would do if you had a shitty boss. You're going to look for somewhere else to work, or you're just going to
Absolutely.
walk, walk away. Like, you know what I'm saying. So that's my thought process of it. Given um that I'm a taxpayer and I have children in this school district. Like, that's alarming because are they going to replace all of those faculty members? Who's going to replace those faculty members? How fast are they going to get them in? Because they already up there talking about 4 jobs that they was talking about eliminating, and it's just a lot that I think that taxpayers and people who have children in this school district should be really, really aware of what's going on up there.
And just to piggyback off of what you're saying, um, one thing that I found interesting is that the superintendent in the beginning, when he was reading the letter from his lawyer after he was done, he made some commentary about um, interviewing for other jobs as superintendent in other school districts, being having other job offers, but he decided to sign on another contract with McKeesport. I don't, given the information that we were given at this school board meeting, it doesn't seem like people were like chomping at the bit to get him another contract. So
Right.
I just the I think the implication was that what it seemed like to me is
Mm-hmm.
that people wanted him to continue to be the superintendent. People largely wanted him to be continue to be the superintendent, where
Mm-hmm.
the things that are happening don't really um,
Match up.
reinforce right, because you have 21 faculty leaving, you have
A
um,
bus issue,
you have
which
a
they'll
bus
say it's not a
issue,
issue, but there's a bus issue.
you have a 49% student uh, uh, 49% of school 49% of students have a truancy issue in the school.
49%.
uh,
Sheesh.
for
49%.
crazy.
That's
And if
crazy.
there's different numbers, get them to us because there was a gentleman up there that keep asking for numbers or whatever. But yeah, so
Well, that 49% is straight from the superintendent's mouth
yeah,
at that
yeah,
meeting.
yeah, yes.
So
Right, you're right, you're right. That's
that
huge.
was appalling to me. And then there was a gentleman who gave a handout,
Yeah,
and
right,
it,
right,
it
right.
turns out,
Okay.
based on the information that was on that handout, a lot of those students are Black.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but again, this person who gave the handout, what they were saying was also interrupt. This person was interrupted by the superintendent's father. Like, it was a
Yeah,
mess. It was a mess.
yeah.
Um, then you have um, one thing that stood out to me only because I took interest in this position at a prior date years ago. Um, the um, community liaison. The community liaison's job is to recruit children, because in McKeesport we have a couple of different charter schools which give kids the option to go to those schools if they don't want to go to the McKeesport school district
Hmm.
schools. Um, the community liaison's job is to reach out to those children and families and to recruit them to bring them back into the school district. Now, as a parent of a student who goes to one of those charter schools, based on what I've seen at that meeting, I do not feel compelled to bring my child back to the district. Um, Also, what I could say is um, that job for community liaison. It's funny because when I heard of the requisition being posted for that job a few years back, I had someone I know call to inquire, and they were immediately told that the position was filled. So I'm like, well, how is the position filled? And the requisition hasn't even closed yet. So that
So it's
means
like
that
some
you haven't
blind
even taken the
forest
time
stuff.
to interview all potentially qualified candidates. So
Mm-hmm.
clearly, this is something that y'all are used to doing up there.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
A mess.
a mess.
A mess.
So I
Um, and,
mean,
and clearly it's not working because nobody is beating down their doors to bring their kids into, like people was getting out.
yeah. So
Sorry.
It sounds like a mess.
it
Um,
does.
we're talking about it because a few people have, asked what our thoughts were about it. I really wanted people to hear Jessica's thoughts on it because that was her first time going up there. Me, I'm no stranger to up there. I'm not happy with them. I don't get a lot of answers, when I go and I speak, up there. I'm hoping that because I know they heard me. I just know I hope that there is some changes. I am happy that they did get outside counsel to look in the policy or the procedure that was taking place with the hiring and the resigning and the rehiring of the current superintendent. And I hope that they get that resolved sooner than later. And I hope that we get the answers that we truly need.
Absolutely. And also shout out to the current wrestling coach for speaking up about vocational programs because those are important too. They were talking about how a lot of programs are leaving the school. Um, and he
That
wants those should be brought back. There's a need for plumbers, electricians, um,
well, excuse me.
welders.
Well, excuse me. Welders.
Um, uh, he was talking about the program where they work on cars. And I remember back in the day when we went to the high school, they used to build like a house every year.
Every single
Um,
year.
I don't know what happened to that because the fact of the matter is college is not for everybody.
Hmm.
Trades are definitely important and they pay well.
When did
Hmm.
they stop that?
He said something, the superintendent said something about a lot of stuff, funds and something being cut. And I just know from having children in the school district, I know one year they were there and the next year they weren't. And I don't know. Fundings was cut. I know one of the teachers that's leaving at the end of this year. He teaches for one of those VOTEC programs. So I don't know. Um, but he made a very, very strong point. Very, very strong point.
So, and that's another thing too, I think that was brought up was um, how the school is not very helpful with um, helping kids get into college or, what, as far as the graduates, like seeing that they have all of the resources that they need to go or, how many,
To the
what
next
percent.
level.
Yes.
To the next level, whether it
Yes.
be college or they don't even take the college route. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like to the next level. Um,
Hmm.
yeah.
So, I mean, there's definitely a room for a lot of improvement, some of which are
Mm-hmm.
small changes that could have been made, really.
But that
Um,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't really fall on the counselors. um, on their lap. That's
It does fall on the guidance counselors, but if the guidance counselors aren't doing their jobs, then who's responsible to make sure that the guidance counselors are doing their jobs?
Right.
yeah.
Because
Nobody's
they
looking at
got
the
to,
numbers and
yeah,
questioning it.
they have to report to somebody. It's a chain reaction. You know, if you got all of these kids that's failing, or I'm sure a lot of them are failing if the truancy number is so high. You know what I'm saying? The truancy number is high. Those kids can't be learning. Like, what are
Hmm.
they learning? Like, you know what I'm saying? And then they, so if you got those kids and you got people doing their job and following these kids and making sure that they're supposed to be where they're at and doing what they're supposed to be doing, and those things are not doing being done, as the boss, you're going to say something about that, and you're going to make sure that those numbers don't look like that. Like they look like that now, they're getting worse. Like, so um definitely the guidance counselor, but it's definitely somebody else's problem too.
Um, One more thing. I know that there was a lady who spoke up and talked about how her son had a learning disability and how she did not um, find out about any resources that were available to him from our school district. She actually found out from somebody from Gateway.
Hmm.
Um, that's concerning and appalling to me as well, because I also had someone with me who is an employee at another district who said that, oh, they definitely educate all of us on that, like from the gate, like we. So is it that people don't know about these resources that are available to to children who have learning disabilities, or they don't care enough to provide them? What is it?
It's probably ignorance. They probably don't know. I would
um
hope that if they knew that they would provide them.
those are kids with a learning disability. As a special education teacher, what type of kids that you have. It is your duty to make sure that that information is out there, because you know about those resources. You should know about those
You should
resources.
know
And
about
if
it, but
you
that's
do
all.
not know about those resources, again, it goes up to the next level, the superintendent, the school board, because those resources is out there. If I'm a special education teacher, then I should know everything that I need to help my students, my special students, education students.
Absolutely.
Period.
And you know, it's concerning because it makes me think of how many students fell through the cracks as a result of somebody not knowing the resources that were available to these kids. This mother went the extra mile to try to figure it out for her son, but ultimately, you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
Our trust is in the school, the administrators,
To be doing the right thing.
to be
Hmm.
doing right by our kids, to be making sure they have everything they need, providing all resources that are available, and to just hear somebody's testimonial that that is not what's being done is like horrifying. Like as a
It
parent,
is. It really is.
yeah.
And just think that that was your first meeting, and that was a couple of people getting up there and speak. That's one out of how many? Like how many have had that story? How many parents are sitting out there, pissed about something that they know isn't right, or they went and said something and things still didn't change. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then people don't say anything, you let it go, and then it happens to another kid. So you got this thing where people, if you don't say nothing, you 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 don't say nothing, I feel like it's bad. But then you got the people who do say something and who do speak up about things. Those are the problem people. You
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying? Those are the negative people. You know what I'm saying? So, like what are the average, or the taxpayers, or or the parent supposed to do? Like, you're supposed to speak up for your child,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
You're not supposed
Like,
to let things happen that aren't supposed to happen.
because guess where that's not happening at? Well, I could say from personal experience, my daughter's school, if she was struggling in a certain area, I had somebody reach out to me and say, "Hey, can you bring her to school a little bit early so we can like tutor her in this area? Because she's had struggling, and I would like to help her and make sure she succeeds in math or whatever. Can you bring her at 7 since school starts at 8:30 so I can work with her a little extra before school starts?" Absolutely, I'm bringing her.
Mm-hmm,
Thank
mm-hmm,
you.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I just think that a lot of things need to be fixing up there, and people need to get up get up there, um, at the open school board, the open agenda, and the regular meetings to speak up about their to speak up about whatever they got going on and they feel that they need to speak up about, because you voted those people in. Those people are working for us. The
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
school district, like, I feel like people naively think that the school, like, we're not supposed to say anything. Like, the school, they're there for us. They work for us and our children. If everybody was to move out or just start sending their kids somewhere else, they lose.
Mm-hmm.
There is no them without us. But
Mm-hmm.
with them, they can't just do us any type of way, or our children. Like, that's just crazy. Like, we have to get out that mindset when it comes to voting for people on our school board, for our city, for everything. Like, we have to
Mm-hmm.
really get out of that mind frame. Like, oh, I ain't gonna say nothing because ain't nothing gonna change. Yes, it will. Especially, like, they can't ignore 100 people
Right.
with the same issue.
Right.
Like, they just can't. And if they do, you know who you're not voting for next election. It's just that simple. It's
Absolutely
just that
right.
simple.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I know that every school district got their struggles and they got their issues. All last week, for the last couple of weeks, all we've been seeing on the news is how there's so much violence in the schools, the fights. There was a little boy who was killed on a school van, a few weeks ago. So I know that the school has their challenges within their self. But I just
Mm-hmm.
also feel like, as a responsible parent, as a parent that shows up, and I do my due diligence on my end, making sure my kids show up, making sure my kids aren't disrespectful, they're ready
Mm-hmm.
to learn. If an issue do happen with my kid, I correct that issue. I don't send my kid back with you having the same problem, because I hold up my end of the bargain. So I would like the school district to hold up theirs. That's it.
Absolutely. Um, I
So
guess I don't really have anything else to say, like in regards to that. That although I don't like even. I have one more thing to say. Just to piggyback off of what you just said with the violence increasing in schools. Number one, we know that this pandemic has taken a toll on each and every one of us.
yes.
Not only that, McKeesport is a low income community,
Hmm.
and um, people in low income communities like ours tend to suffer from a lot of trauma that um, studies have shown is uh, causes PTSD in children.
Hmm.
So we need to have proper resources and proper counseling available to make sure we set up our kids for success. But it doesn't sound like that's not what's happening right now. So, um, what can we do to fix it?
What can we do to fix it? I
So,
would love to hear everybody's thoughts on it. If anybody's watching, their thoughts on that.
all right,
So
guys. So
Moving
I
right
guess
along.
we can get into something a little bit more lighthearted. We've all watched episodes 1 and 2 of the Jeen Yuhs, a Kanye trilogy documentary on Kanye West. What are you guys' thoughts?
It's great to me. Oh, I love it.
All right, I'll give you my thoughts. I absolutely love it. Can clap to the whole shit. Okay. Um, I'm just so happy that people are able to see what I've always known
Hmm.
about him and being a fan from the very beginning. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people wasn't a fan from the very beginning. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, um, I'm just happy to see that he has been consistently who he is
Hmm.
this entire time. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So you can't say that he got money and switched up. He got the fame and switched up, even though I feel like the fame is like, it do get to him or whatever, which it should. Like, life
Hmm.
happens or whatever. But I'm talking about far as his confidence that I think that a lot of people mistake for or take for arrogance. Um, it shows in this documentary that's out right now.
Well, I absolutely loved it. I could say, like, I got really emotional, specifically on the second episode. Episode 3 is coming out tomorrow, but I was so like proud of him for being able to accomplish all he had accomplished, because he was talking about he had been signed for a year and they kept shelving his project, and basically Rockefeller was not even like helping him. He did all the footwork, managed to get in where he fit in when it comes to studio time by himself. He paid for his first video out of his own pocket because they wouldn't release his budget. Like, I felt like Rockefeller really
Drop the ball.
they definitely dropped the ball. Um, I don't know if that
They designed him
um,
to fail. That's what it sounds like. And if he wasn't as talented, and if he didn't have the work ethic he had, he would have just
If
been
he didn't
another
have the
person lost.
confidence that he had,
His
that
work
is
ethic was
key.
crazy
His work ethic too, but that comes with the confidence. If you don't got
because
the confidence, you ain't gonna keep going.
I'll
mhm.
let you know right now. A lot of people that if they're told they gotta wait for a year, guess what? They're not doing. They're not going to the studio for that whole year. They're not trying to
They
come up
they gonna wait.
with a plan
And
themselves.
honestly, it wasn't even like they gave him a time limit. They shelved him. He didn't know when he was coming up. He had to make them see him
Hmm.
Hmm.
in order for them to put a release date on his album, which is like absolutely crazy to me. But walking away from specifically episode 2, the main thing I was like, Kanye is a testament to what can happen if you have belief in yourself, faith in God, the work ethic, the tenacity to keep going. Like, your opportunities are limitless. Like, it was just so super encouraging to see that. Um, he had the support of his mother, which it was nice to see.
I love
Uh,
to see that. I
his
love,
mother
yes.
being his number one cheerleader throughout all of this. Um, his friend, like, documenting all this footage was definitely amazing. And I think that his friend, I don't want to mess up his name. Was it Coogie? Was that his name?
Cootie, cootie,
Um,
Cuda,
even
cootie.
I don't know. I don't want to mispronounce it or something like that. But even his friend had a belief in himself as a director, as a filmographer, to keep going and to keep filming Kanye. And he even Kanye breaking the news to him like, Jesus walks. This is my thing. Like, I really want Hype Williams to do this video. And his boy was telling him, all right, you can get Hype to do it or whatever. I understand what you're saying, but you're going to have to turn around and tell me to come redo it anyway, because you ain't
Hmm.
going to like it. And
Hmm.
that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Amazing. Like, if everybody could have faith and believe in themselves in the way that these
I
Brothers
just
do. It
want
was
everybody to
amazing.
just out because I want a little bit of it. The confidence. That's what stands out to me the most.
Hmm.
Inconsistent, and people take it for arrogant. And I understand why people do, because we don't have a lot of people don't have that. So we don't understand it like that. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? So
And shout out to
confidence.
this mom, man. This mom definitely was
She yes, yes.
Like, how
very
many people
Um
could stand up here and say, I do this, ain't nobody better than me, I'm the best at this, and this is how confident I am in my ability. I don't care what you say, I know that I'm the best out here.
and everything he like, and that was instilled in him. You can tell from the very beginning with his family. I mean, with his mom. Like, you know what I'm saying? That was instilled in him from the very beginning, because if you notice from the first one to the second one, um everything that he wanted to do, he accomplished, and as it was going on, he spoke everything into existence. Whatever he
Hmm.
wanted, he spoke on it, and that's what it was. Like, you know what I'm saying? They closed the door, they whatever, whatever. He spoke it to existence. I'm going to do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be here, and he did it.
He spoke it, but faith also without works is dead. Not only did he speak it,
Yes,
but he had the tenacity to keep going
yes.
and to reinforce his faith, saying, I'm going to continue working towards this because I know what I got. I know what I bring to the
I
table.
know who I am.
Yes,
Yes.
I know who I
Mhm.
am.
Mhm.
Dope. Just dope.
Yes.
I
Yep.
can't
It's
wait for
it's
the
dope.
next one. I can't wait.
Yep. Tomorrow it's really really good. So
Hey,
if
oh
you
yeah, and to piggyback off what you said, it does give people insight and to say, okay, he has actually been this same person. I think with maybe the fame and the money, it has inflated about 15 times, but he has
yeah,
certainly still been the same person.
yes,
So, I mean,
I can agree with that.
yeah.
So if you haven't checked it out, I advise you guys to check that out. It's on Netflix. The last episode I believe comes out tomorrow. So
Yes.
yeah,
Anybody got anything else?
I don't have anything else. I
I don't
mean,
either.
All right, guys, this is the O.P.O.V podcast. Love you. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, and we'll talk to you later.
All
peace out.
Bye.
right.